Hey, 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 groovy people. You know it. This is the most magical moment with music, and it doesn't get better than this. So, we just came off the Mission Accepted podcast. Check it out. Dee Lippingwell. This woman is a rock and roll photographer, icon. There isn't anyone I can't even think of that she hasn't shot. So, do you know how interesting it's going to be to ask this woman one of her most magical moments with music? So, lucky you. So, Dee. Dee Lippingwell, what has been one of your hundreds of moments with music that you'd like to share with us today?
Well, there have been so many, but the one that sticks out in my mind is when Bruce Springsteen played in Vancouver. And I got to the backstage area to get my photo pass, and I found out that another female photographer from New York City, we won't mention her name, Lynn Goldsmith, uh, she had requested that no other photographers be allowed to shoot the show at the Queen Elizabeth Theater. And so the record company, I was devastated because I had just been turned on to Bruce Springsteen. I had all his albums that were given to me, like, here, listen to this. It was like, oh my God, oh my God. And like I was in love. Like I was like totally in love. And to not be able to shoot the show, I was devastated. And he said, well, look, we've got all the big wigs here from Toronto and we've got really good seats, row 7, row 8, row 9. And so we'll get you a seat and you can watch the show. And that was when Bruce did the whole show. He did, an hour and a half and then had an intermission and then did another hour. And
Wow.
so I sat for the first part of the intermission. I was white knuckling my bag. It was awful. It was just totally awful that I couldn't shoot. And I see this other female photographer running up and down the aisles and whatever. And I was sitting with all the big wigs. So, and I promised that I wouldn't shoot. And two girls on either side of me at intermission said, God, Dee, this must be just hell for you. I said, is it hell? I said, well, listen, can you get down? Because, we're behind the big wigs. So if you can get down between the seats and if you can shoot that way, we will block you from any security that are walking up and down, making sure nobody's taking pictures. We'll block you from the security. So I said, oh, man. So I did. He came on stage. I crouched down. It was like click, 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 click. It was like, oh, come on. It was like, I think maybe 2 songs. So because I'd been so good and I hadn't shot the show, the reps decided that I was going to be able to meet Bruce. Well, my heart was just like, oh, meeting Bruce backstage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we go backstage, and of course, there's a lot of people that Bruce has to meet. And he's just totally just the nicest guy in the world, right? And Frank, the record rep, I kept going, oh, me? Come on, is it my turn? Just cool it like you're last. And I went, oh man, I hope they don't like scoot him out of the room first. Sure enough, Frank brings Bruce over and says, Bruce, this is our photographer, and we've just turned around to your music, I did the whole thing. So it was like, shake Bruce's hand, right? And of course, me being me, it was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to shoot the show, but I did. I ducked down between the seats and I just blurted it out. And he said, well, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you got my good side, just run on. And I'm glad that you're a fan. He said, but can I ask a favor of you? And I said, yes. He said, could you let go of my hand? I had been shaking his hand. I'm talking and I'm shaking and I was like, oh, man. Yeah. So that was sort of a magical moment.
That's a magical moment. That's an awesome moment. Oh my gosh. I got to ask you, how old were you?
When I started?
No. How old were you when you were shaking his hand?
30 something. I was older than him. So,
All right.
You can't go after somebody that's older than you. Right?
Oh my
Or
gosh. But thank you.
younger than you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
was in my 30s. I don't know. You want me to figure out what age I was?
No, that's okay. I could just imagine a younger version of you like shaking hands and hi, Bruce. And
No, I was a full grown woman. Right. That's one of my running shoe in the mouth moments, right?
that's the best. That's the best.
I had a few of them.
Oh my gosh. Well, look, you guys, now you know what to do. So we are supporting music, and we were fortunate enough to have someone who's steeped well into music. So pop over to the theydidittour.ca. You guys know what to do. If it is your time and you feel like you want to give back, we're more than happy to have that happen. And you can just go and hit that little donate button. And at the very least, just the next time you walk by someone that's playing some music on the street, throw something in. Until we see you again next week, be cool, be groovy.